features in Google Sheets, how to enter formulas and functions. So I've opened up a spreadsheet and I've entered the title up there, Worked Example 1.2 Gradebook, and I've entered some data for some students. So I'm creating a simple gradebook. So I've got my header, students' names, exam scores, and their final exam. So one of the things that we often want to calculate is what was the exam average for each of the exams. So I'm going to add a row down here. And I'm going to, I could add up each of the cells B4, B5, B6, but it's more efficient to use a function. So I'm going to type average and open parentheses, and then I can type B4 colon B8. And that will allow me to compute the average of all of those scores in those cells. And then if I copy that formula to this next cell, notice that it automatically updates to be calculating the average from column C. That's because it's using relative addressing. So I moved it one column to the right, and so it automatically updated the addresses accordingly. And I can also, as I'm typing in a formula, I can, rather than typing the addresses, I can drag and select a range of cells if I want to. And so I can select D4 through D8, close my parentheses, and hit enter. So now I've got the exam averages. Now to calculate the average for each student, I would like to weight the regular exams differently from the final exam. So I'm going to have a label here called exam weights. And I would like the regular exams to count 25%. Oops, 25%. And the final to count 50% of the overall grade. And so now to calculate each student's average, I need to, I can't use my average function. What I have to do is take the average of the two regular exams plus the final, but count the final as twice as much. So one way I could do that is I could type in B4 plus C4 plus 2 times D4, and then divide that by 4. Now I've made a mistake in my calculation. If I hit enter now, I've got 188, and that has to do with precedence of operators. I need to put parentheses around this function before I divide by 4. So be careful of that when you're typing in formulas, to take into account precedence and to add parentheses where necessary. Now I can copy that to the next cell. Another handy feature that we have is this little square box here in the corner. I can click on it and drag, and that will copy that formula down the column for me. So I can see here that it copied the formula into row 8 and updated all of the cell addresses accordingly. I could also do Control C if I want the overall class average and copy it there. One of the things that is helpful is if I were to insert a row in my table or delete a row, the formulas will automatically update. So for example, if I delete Kelsey from my table, I can click on that row and I can do Edit, delete row 7, and then if I look at my formulas, I'll see that they've automatically updated to remove that particular cell from the range. Likewise, if I insert a row within the range of students here, so say I inserted a row above Garcia and entered values for a new student, the formulas would automatically be updated to include that cell. So that's one of the advantages of using ranges. So I'm going to undo that and delete that. So that's just some basics of using formulas and functions in Google Sheets. And I'll be formatting the spreadsheet in the next video.